All right, so today I will be addressing a topic, and I will be doing this most often because, as a religious leader and a founder of one of our new age religion with emphasis on the African traditional religion, it is required of me to constantly teach our sacred text and majority of the universal teachings of African traditional religion. But today, my topic will be remembering your ancestors. If you are a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're a Watered, you're a Buddhist, you're a Zoroastrian, I want to beg you to just sit back. This teaching will not be more than 10 minutes. And it's a universal teaching, so it doesn't really matter which religion you belong to. But I want you guys to learn from the wisdom of our sacred book, Nima Sedani. Now, today, our talk is going to be remembering your ancestors. Many religions and many belief systems, societal belief system and dogmas has over the years, especially within the coffers of the African spirituality, has tamed several ancestors to be evil. Let me bring it down to Africa. We've made to understand that our ancestors are evil and they are there to cause us harm, backwardness. So you see prayer points like every ancestral covenant, every ancestral power, every ancestor that is against my life, Holy Ghost, fire. It's not so. This teaching is not to make other religion feel bad about the ideology they've painted in the mindset of Africa, but to encourage and admonish my African brothers and believers of the Watered religion and the African spirituality, the Kemetic spirituality, that your ancestor, even when they are not with you here on earth, obviously they are not going to be with you here on earth because they're already ancestors, they still have good intentions towards you. Whatever thing they did in their time was for what? The preservation of their descendants, years to come, the culture, and the general spirituality. It may not, like I said in one of my videos, those covenants and activities or rituals they carried on may not be relevant in our current dispensation, but following their ways and how they go about their life could throw more wisdom into how we should live our life in our current dispensation. When you go to Nima Sedani chapter 1, which is the call, reading from verse 10 to 13, let me read verse 10 first. Verse 10 said, like in the order of thought, so have we raised Uzihben as a reminder of the wisdom and writings of thought. But men have no regard for wisdom, and has chosen the ways of folly. Inasmuch as we try to blend into today's spirituality, today's innovations, and the fast pace of innovation, we must put into consideration, into cognizance, the importance of ancient wisdom. Wisdom from our ancestors, from deities, from spirituality that have paved ways for people that today, when you call their names, awe is invoked. And so when we try to ignore the wisdom of these people, of this spirituality, as rooted in the cultural heritage of the African spirituality, we tend to cut ourselves from the blessing that come therein. And so verse 10 of Nima Sedani chapter 1 is saying, like in the order of thought have we sent what? My own self, Uzihben, to teach and remind you the wisdom of our ancestors. How did they live their life? How did they marry? How did they deal with each other? How did they deal with the stranger? How did they deal with the foreigners? How did they deal with the Scandinavians? How did they deal with the Europeans, the Romans, the Greeks, the Mesopotamians? How did we deal with the Arab when they came in contact with us? Did we fight them? Did we welcome them? The love that was within the Kemetic and the African traditional spirituality was what gave them the wisdom and the philosophy that they used in building their own civilization. Coming down to the Bantu region, how did we live our lives? The Eri people, the Igbo people, the Benin people, the great kingdom of Mali, the great kingdom of Ghana, down to the Yoruba Empire, down to the Efik, to the Cameroon, the South African, the San, the Kotsan people. What were the legacy that our ancient Kemetic ancestors left for us? Even our ancestors that just left, what did they leave for us? Did they leave rivalry? And sometimes when I look around Africa, I see people fight about land, fight about relevance. It begins to dawn on me that we have lost our true essence. Let's read verse 11. Verse 11 said, "So on the day when they shall stand before their ancestors," the day when you will stand before your ancestor, the day that there will be no life in your physical body, the vessel that which you've been vibrating in this physical plane, the earth plane, when you stand before your ancestors, then your face, according here, he said, their face shall be covered with shame, because you've ignored the ways of your ancestor because you've condemned the ways of the African traditional religion, because you've condemned the ways of your ancestors, the ways of your land, your heritage. He said, then shame shall be on your face. For what? Let's read. He said, then their face shall be covered with shame, for in their own wisdom, in your own wisdom, they forgot the ways of truth and reasoning, and have embraced the strange ancestors, and have desecrated the land in which their life pipe, the umbilical cord, was born. A lot of you have embraced foreign ancestors, ancestors that has no root in your own pure spirituality. They've brought new ways, they've brought new belief system, they've brought new religion. And so what we have today is a desecrated land. And so Africa has relegated itself to backwardness. When people are living ahead, it's as if we are living what? Backward. Everything that concerns Africa is being stolen, is being taken, and we have nothing to do about it. Because those we call our fathers have eaten the devil's money, have made a covenant with ancestors that have no good intention towards the land. Verse 12 said, but then will many cry, O ancient waters, O ancient spirits. Had it been that we were told, we would have followed. I'm telling you the revelation of what is going to happen to you when you leave this earth. You are going to cry when you stand before your ancestors and your ancestors turn their back on you. Then you will cry, what have we done? They will remind you of how you desecrated the land, how you embraced the ways of the foreigners, the ways of strange ancestors. Then will you cry? Verse 12 said, he said, then will you cry, O ancient waters, ancient spirits. Then will you call on the creator of the heavens and the earth, the firmaments, the waters, the earth, the grand vizier of the universe. Then you will call upon the ancient spirit, saying, had it been we were told, we would have followed. I am telling you now, will you denounce the strange ways, the strange gods? Will you denounce the strange religion that is here in Africa and embrace your ancestors and embrace the Kemetic spirituality and embrace the African traditional spirituality and the traditional religion? The religion of your ancestors, the religion of your land. Because the great ancient waters, the creator of the universe, is going to judge you according to the religion that your ancestor left for you. It may not be 100% the Kemetic spirituality, but the religion of your ancestors, you will be judged. Then you will say we were not told. But Uzihben is telling you today, The voice that cries by the sea, the God of the sea is speaking to you this day. Will you denounce the strange religion and accept the African traditional religion? Verse 13, the last verse of this chapter, Nima Sedani, the call. He said, then will Anubis, the great god Anubis, the one that will escort your soul before the grand vizier, the one that is going to present your soul before the elders to ask you, what have you? Do you have a heavy heart or a light heart? Did you accept the ways of your ancestors, or you turn your back on? He said, then Anubis will reply you, saying, the reminder was sent, but none had heard. Anubis will call unto you and say, the God of the sea and the voices spoke to you. Uzihben spoke to you, but you did not do what? Respond. You did not adhere. You called him all names. You called him scam. You called him idiot. You called him fool. You said he should give his life to Christ. You said he should embrace the foreign ancestry. You said he should embrace the strange religion. You said he should embrace the strange gods. Same gods that found their roots to African spirituality. But because, let me tell you, even the European, even the Scandinavian, they've embraced your own spirituality more than you have. Are they going to get their reward? Yes, they will get their reward. Because they will be told, you have caused you've caused mischievous acts on earth. You've brought calamity and death on earth. When we brought you down on earth here, we brought you to bring peace and harmony, to build on your ancient Kemetic ancestry and spirituality. But what did you bring? You brought Israel against Gaza. You brought Russia against the other one. You brought Africa against Africa. You brought the white man's supremacy. You brought xenophobia. You brought everything that will destroy the beautiful thing that what? The ancient waters has built. Say, then Anubis will answer, the reminder was sent. This is one of the most powerful revelation in Nima Sedani. Are you going to be among those that these 4 verses will be a yardstick for judgment and you will not be able to escape? Will you be able to escape Nima Sedani chapter 1 verse 10 and 13? Will you not be among those who will shout verse 12, but then many cry, oh ancient waters, ancient spirit, had it been that we were told, we would have followed. Will you stand before your ancestors and they will say, we know you not? Will your ways embrace the ways of your ancestors? The Igbos, go back to your home and embrace that which your ancestors have taught you. The Ibibios, go back to your home and embrace that which your ancestors have taught you. Uphold that which makes you unique. Because what makes the African spirituality unique is the diversity, the colorfulness of how we all go back to one God. In Africa, there is neither good nor evil. There is neither Satan nor God. There is neither bad nor good. There is only a decision to do that which gives you more gratification without thinking of your neighbor. But there is what? In every decision, there is what? Consequences. And that is why we have the great god Anubis holding the scale to put your heart in one side and the feather on the other side. And if your heart is so heavy, you will be sent to perpetual reawakening, where you will atone for your selfishness, where you will atone for the ways that you follow that were against the ways of humanity. Have you embraced wisdom? Have you embraced knowledge? Or are you among the folly? Are you among the company of those who will say, forget them, they know what they are doing? Are you among the people that will stand up and say, people are embracing technology, We are here preaching spirituality. The spirituality that gave birth to the technology. If only we put our heads down and allow the Spirit to open our hearts to the teachings and the wisdom that have set before us, even by myself, Uzihben, and great men that have lived before us, ancestors like Madiba, ancestors that have lived before us, Mensa Musa, great ancestors, Chinua Achebe. The wisdom they've set for us, if we can follow it, then we will be among those that the ancient waters will welcome into everlasting Godship and what? And bliss. And as you ponder in this, you can go to my Facebook, Uzihben, download the 4 verses. For now, we are not releasing Nima Sedani, the full book, to the general public because there are more revelations coming in. But for those of you who need this particular chapter, Nima Sedani, the call, chapter 1, from verse 1 to 13, please, you can drop a comment below or you can send me a mail, Candy, C-A-N-D-Y, at uzihben.com, and a copy of this chapter will be sent to you. And as we get to the end of the year, according to the Gregorian calendar, and we are entering a new year, 2024, I pray that may the almighty ancient spirits and the ancient waters, the great gods of the land, may they be with you. May your ancestors open your eyes to great misery and wisdom and secrets and innovation that will make your 2024 a beautiful one. Please don't forget that on the 31st of December, this month, this particular month, we have the end of year Thanksgiving. We had it 2022, and I will tell you, every single thing I put forth before the Grand Vizier, I am just a God manifesting on earth here. Everything I put before the ancient waters granted them to this physical body. And everything I prayed to God Uzihben offered it to this physical body. I was able to acquire cars this year. Beautiful contracts came in. Business innovation. The Lenford University kicked off. Quick TV Africa kicked off. I made money even in dollars. And I will tell you, even people that sent money to me as a result of the spirituality I'm pursuing, a lot of the watered members, they skyrocketed themselves into new knowledge, new discovery, new businesses. I have one of my sons who opened 3 different businesses, have several of his books published and is making good money out of it. And do you know that this year alone, one of my sons is starting a very big innovation that we are going to announce. This innovation is going to take the breath of many across the world. And this is coming from the African traditional spirituality. Not the white man, no. The African traditional spirituality. I have my daughters who start up their logistics businesses. I have ones that are selling. I have one of my daughter who came and there was no sales. Before the end of this year, she became a leading business owner in that sector. I have some who got married this year. Some who gave birth to children this year. Some who conceived this year. Some married. A lot of testimony. I will tell you, 2023 was a stepping stone to greatness. In fact, 2023 was the year the floor work, the plan work of the first African traditional ultra-modern temple was conceived. And I can tell you, by the leading and by the permission of the ancient waters, my prayers to the Grand Vizier and every ancestors and gods that have lived before me, that they should make that project a reality. So as you ponder in this chapter of Nima Sedani, I pray that may grace find you. And please, when you do Thanksgiving, you don't do that with empty hand. You have to send between 10,000 naira and above. Please, 10,000 naira and above is not too small for you to thank the ancient spirit for what they did in your life. Majority of you may not have experienced a good year, maybe because of economic troubles, but please, why not trust me and key into this new year for a beautiful beginning? And note, whatever money you are sending is not for Uzihben. We're going to buy expensive exotic wine. One of my sons is even sending beautiful wines from South Africa. We're going to buy exotic wines for the ritual, and the remaining, we are putting it into the building and the construction of our first ultra-modern temple. And please, for those of you who are requesting for prayers, like I said, only when I am on live, I can pray and do free spiritual consultation for you. The moment I'm not live, it's a moment of myself resting and meditation and what? Empowering myself. If you must steal me from this time, please book an appointment with me. May the ancient waters and the ancient spirit bless you. May they protect you. May they shield you from the eyes of the envious one, both humans, animals, and spirit. Ashe.